With the college football season almost here, it's time to look ahead to some of the marquee matchups in Week 1 across the loaded Labor Day weekend slate. There was a huge Big Ten clash in Camp Randall, with James Franklin and Penn State taking on the Wisconsin Badgers on the road. The Nittany Lions have been landing several big-name recruits as of late and are looking to move past a disappointing 2020 season. And that's not the only thing you need to watch in the Big Ten. Indiana will battle the Iowa Hawkeyes at Kinnick Stadium. In that one, keep an eye on the #1 overall player on Bryant McFadden's Need-to-Know 20, Indiana quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Nick Saban and the defending champion Alabama Crimson Tide will face off against the U in Atlanta. Bryce Young, the former 5-star quarterback and #2 overall recruit in the 2020 class, will be making his first career start for Alabama. It is already on the short list of Heisman candidates. Steve Sarkisian will make his coaching debut for Texas in Austin, but it will be a tough first test against the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns, who are coming off a 10-win season. Then there is the only matchup of Week 1 featuring 2 top 5 teams. The Georgia Bulldogs taking on Clemson on a neutral field in Charlotte. Both teams featuring Heisman Trophy candidates and quarterbacks JT Daniels and DJ Uiagalelei, a.k.a. Big Cinco. And on Sunday, top 10 ranked Notre Dame will make their season debut against FSU in Tallahassee, with Wisconsin transfer Jack Cohn taking over as quarterback for the Fighting Irish. Who will start the 2021 season off strong in what's shaping up to be an epic Week 1 in college football? The road to the playoff is about to begin.
So we put up these full screens so you can get a visual of the games. I already told you in that what we call a package, everything that is happening in these games coming up this weekend. Regardless, we are so excited. I got to tell you, I'm a little short on sleep because Ohio State and Minnesota was that good. I need repeats of all of that in these games we've got coming up this weekend. Let's welcome in former Seminole 2-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden. Bmac, we've got 8 games tonight, this Friday night. I know you got your dogs upstairs, your red velvet cake. This is what you should be doing. We're going to start with the one kicking off at 6 Eastern. North Carolina ranked #10 going up against Virginia Tech. This is the highest the Tar Heels have been rated going into a season since 1997. Give us a preview of this one.
Oh man, electrifying atmosphere. An in-conference matchup in the ACC. North Carolina visiting Virginia Tech, a place historically speaking, Amanda, they've struggled in Blacksburg. I mean, I think they're 3-6 all time playing Virginia Tech. They're at home. So this is going to be a big time ball game for both teams. You talked about the expectations for UNC. Sam Howell considered one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Many people believe this is a team that could compete against Clemson in the ACC, but they have to take care of their business tonight. And if you go back to this matchup a year ago, I think it was like 4, 5, 6 overtimes or something like that for North Carolina to be able to prevail and come through with a huge win last year. Virginia Tech had this game circled on their schedule since day one when the schedule came out. They understand how important this game is because both teams are in the Coastal Division. They're in the ACC, and we can instantly see the narrative change in the Coastal Division if a huge upset was to happen.
If a huge upset was to happen. Now, Mike McClure, we had a little soundbite from him earlier. He's laying the 5.5 with North Carolina. We asked you to pick an upset out of this entire weekend, and Bmac, this is the game you're looking at.
No question, Amanda. Anytime you get in-conference play early in the season, you can always expect to see some type of upset, close game. And I do believe Virginia Tech has what it takes to be able to upset North Carolina. Honestly, when you look at North Carolina, I'm surprised they're #10 in the country. I felt like they should be anywhere between 15, 16, 17. But #10, I think they're a bit overhyped based on how they finished the season. Not to mention, when you look at what Sam Howell had last year, an unbelievable backfield. They're missing both guys who are playing in the National Football League. Ty Chandler should be a guy that should compete to be the featured running back, but you better believe they're not going to have the same running production they had a year ago. And when you transition to Virginia Tech, all I need is Braxton Burmeister just to play smart football. I don't need him to put a cape on. He doesn't have to go out and play heroic like football. Just put your glasses on, Braxton, and just be smart with the football. Take what the defense will give you. And they will give him some things, but he has to be smart with the football and allow the players that are surrounding him to do what they've been called to do. So, yes, when you look at this matchup out of all the weekend slate of ball games, Amanda, I highlight this matchup as a potential upset alert based on these two teams knowing each other extremely well in the atmosphere. Remember I said North Carolina, they've struggled there in Virginia Tech, 3-6 all time.
So that is your upset. I appreciate all of it. I'm also going to call it nerd football. Just play smart, put on your glasses, nerd football. Matchup to watch out of the entire weekend. You're going with the big one, top 5 matchup. Number 5 Georgia going up against number 3 Clemson. It is in Charlotte. Why is this your matchup to watch?
It's a superstar matchup. It's a 5-star matchup. You just hit on it. It's a top 5 matchup. Both teams, we believe, have championship aspirations. We believe both teams are 2 of the best in the country, and we get to see them week 1. We don't have to wait week 7, week 8. We don't have to wait until the playoffs happen to see this type of playoff caliber matchup. We're seeing this week 1. And the reason why I'm so hyped outside of the expectations for both teams and how highly ranked they are, we could easily see one of these teams' playoff hopes go down the drain in week 1. The loser could be on the outside looking in when you look at playoff hopes throughout the rest of the season, depending on what happens Saturday night. 2 teams that are loaded with talent on both sides of the ball. 2 teams that have highly respectable head coaches. 2 teams that have tradition, prestige. But I can tell you this much. The best team will win this ball game, and I can tell you this much as well. The winner of this ball game might have an inside track to get into the playoffs.
I want a winner. I want to know who you think is going to win. Clemson's favored by 3. We got some people on our staff saying DJ Uiagalelei better than Trevor Lawrence. Who's your pick to win in this one?
UGA. JT Daniels might not have the expectations as DJ, but he can play pretty good football. He's been around for quite some time. He played at SC. Granted, he played last year when he jumped into the starting lineup. I love their running backs. I love the big offensive linemen. They got some hog mollies in the trenches, and they love to eat, and they love to put their weight on you and just lean. And you better believe they're going to see so many different backs, Clemson's defensive front that's going to wear them down. And then defensively, this will be the best defense Clemson will see all year long. Georgia has been known to be a quality stout defensive unit, and once again, we will see this. And I can tell you this much, Kirby Smart needs to win this ball game. This is a very, very important ball game. I know some experts and some analysis, they believe Clemson has to win this ball game to get into the playoffs. I do agree, but when you look at the history between both coaches and both programs, Georgia has been known to lay an egg during big-time ball games, during big-time moments. They've been known to lay an egg. When you look at what they have, the recruiting they've been able to do, they got to win this game. They have to.
They have to win this game, and you're saying they're going to, which is a big take right now here on CBS Sports HQ. But you heard it there from Bmac, potential upset with Georgia. Looking at the weekend, what player do we need to watch, Bmac?
The player that we need to watch is the most important player for the most talked about team in college football, and that's Bryce Young. The last 2 quarterbacks that have played for Alabama went on to put up arcade-like numbers, got drafted extremely high. Both players were in the Heisman conversation at some point in time, and they played prolific ball at Alabama. And because of that, we've seen Alabama offense go to a whole nother level. Bryce Young, some people are saying that he's more talented than Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones. And if that's the case, this team will not slow down. I know they have a lot of holes to fill based on some of the players that went on to get drafted and play on Sundays. But if Bryce Young stands up and reaches the level of expectations they have for him, this team will not slow down. And get this, Amanda, he has a national stage to show what type of player he is Saturday against a ranked opponent in Miami. Oh, by the way, they have an experienced quarterback in Derek King who's healthy, who can play pretty good sound football as well. But Bryce Young can easily, he has the 3rd best odds to win the Heisman, not even starting 1 game so far this season. He can easily jump to number 1. If he takes care of his business against Miami, they win. He puts up outstanding numbers, and instantly he is the new face of college football, in my opinion.
Bmac, I need to make some money. Give me your best bet of the weekend.
Best bet for me, I'm sorry, Tulane. The Green Wave, they've dealt with a lot based on the hurricane. Was supposed to host the Sooners at home, But because of the weather, they had to relocate last Saturday. They were away, I think, in Alabama, and then they traveled up to Norman. They're playing Oklahoma, and this might be the best defensive team Lincoln Riley has had the luxury of having under him. And if that's the case, we know offensively what they're going to do. So I'm taking Oklahoma laying, 31.5 points to Tulane. Like I said, the adversity is going to be a bit much, not to mention now having a road game that was supposed to be a home game. And then we look at the betting numbers. The Sooners, they're 7-1 ATS in their last 8 games as the favorite. They're 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games as a home favorite. OU, they show up week 1 against opponents that are not on the same level when you talk about talent. And having this home game, Spencer Rattler's going to ball out. Their defense, led by Coach Grinch, is going to ball out. This is going to be a top-level game for OU. And because of this, I'm putting everything on OU because I do believe they will cover this 31.5 points easy.
I will say they're only doing the lower bowl, and they issue tickets for like $30, and already the cheapest ticket you can find is $300. Those Sooner fans are excited. All right, before we let you go, Bmac, we got Brady Quinn out of town. All those Notre Dame people are gone. We have you here to talk about Notre Dame at Florida State. Can you give your Seminoles maybe not hopes of a win, but just hopes of a good game?
No. We're not tapering our expectations. We're not
hoping
for a good game. We're gonna win this ball game. You gotta believe, number one, throw it in the universe and allow it to manifest. It's not competing. I said yesterday on HQ, take Florida State money line. Don't take the 7.5 points. We don't know exactly who our quarterback's going to be just yet, but they know that's all that matters. And if it's Jordan Travis, look out. Jordan Travis is going to ball out. This is going to be oh my goodness, Sunday night, Doak Campbell Stadium, honoring the legend, great Bobby. Bobby's going to be up top, looking down low, and he's going to be sprinkling some blessings all on the guys that we will be wearing garnet and gold. And because of that, it's going to be a big-time statement game for Florida State. And I need to go ahead and text Brady right now, because I just got some nice water from Pat because he lost the bet to me. I need to text Brady and see exactly what he's okay in losing so I can continue to stock my water stockage here at my house because I love the expensive water. I don't drink the devil's nectar. I don't drink alcohol. I drink water. So I love betting, cases of water and whatever it is Brady wants. So I'm going to have to shoot him a text. Thank you, Amanda,
you shoot him a text. First of all, we don't know who our quarterback's going to be, but we're going to put him on the money line. It's going to be great. You're drinking water. I need to know off air this brand of very fancy water. Any words for Brady here on camera and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish from you?
Well, the last time I faced off against Brady Quinn when we both were in college, it happened in South Bend, and they lost 37-0. So, Brady, I'm not saying you guys will lose 37-0 this Sunday, but you will lose. It will be an entertaining ball game for one team, and that's Florida State.
One of you is about to get a lot of water, a lot of cases of water. Bryant McFadden, always entertaining, always informative. Thank you so much for joining us here on CBS Sports HQ. Enjoy your red velvet cake you got waiting for you upstairs. All right, Bmac, if you didn't know, he's got a podcast with his friend, his cousin, Patrick Peterson, also current Vikings cornerback there. They got interviews with guys like Jared Allen, Justin Jefferson, Derek Stingley, latest episode of Mailbag there. They answer questions like who's harder to prepare for, Lamar or Tom Brady? Also, will Pat P talk a little bit of trash to DeAndre Hopkins? Make sure to download and follow.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.